Oh,
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS. Fans, brews, and Broncos news.
Broncos country, it is here. It is game day, an AFC Championship game. It is still time. I don't know about you, Jared, but I am just more than happy to be here. We were talking before the show. It feels surreal. If you had told me we would have been here at the beginning of the season, I probably would have laughed at you. But here we are.
Oh, man, like with everything and the roller coaster of emotions that we've all gone through over the week, including Saturday night, like starting Saturday night, like, amazing win. And Saturday afternoon, we're like, let's go. We're in the AFC Championship. This is wild. We just beat the best quarterback in the AFC right now. Time to roll on. And then, the injury report. And then Sunday of all of us kind of like, what's going to happen? How's it going to work? To the excitement built around Stiddy and his all the things we said on the pregame podcast, but like all the most of Broncos country, I feel like all of us have been watching real closely. Like we're one of 4 teams left, so we're all watching all the media days and all the interviews that they're giving to the media. And Stiddy's interviews have been just absolutely fantastic. And like with every single day that builds, more and more confidence goes into me. And I'm just like, it's crazy that we're here, and it's crazy that like we're playing the Patriots in the cold to go to the Super Bowl, like in Denver, right? When was the last time that happened? Oh, that's right. Super Bowl 50. And C.J. Anderson broke off a huge run at the end of the game in the snow, in the cold, to win that game. It is just absolutely fantastic. Look, we can look back 10 years ago, but right now it's about what team we have now. And we have the injury report, so we'll get to that with you guys here shortly. Let you guys know who's playing and who's not. I guess we can start there, Kev, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, let's do it. In general, the inactives report, pretty clean. Nothing that we didn't really expect. The first one, Troy Franklin, and let's start with there. We didn't expect to see him. And nothing against the guy, but if you had said you can bring back either Troy Franklin or Pat Bryant, I would have brought back Pat Bryant. And what we saw from him at the very beginning of the game before he went out with the concussion last week was simply that they had a big game plan for him. They were going to get him the ball a lot. And so I expect you to see a lot of that start out the same way this week.
Yeah, well, it's funny if you look at the defenses, right? They have very good corners, and we have to be able to get the ball to a slot receiver, and Pat Bryant is that guy. For the most part, we played Pat Bryant as the number 2 outside of Cortland Sutton. But I think Marvin Mims showed up, right? And then even little Jordan Humphrey showed up once the injuries happened. But yeah, we expected that Troy Franklin wasn't going to play. Just with the injury that he had, he was limited in practice all week. I'm actually really surprised that Pat Bryant is back, based on he had 2 concussions in 4-week period. And that's always difficult. So obviously there's some concern there. I think, Kev, you mentioned it. There's a chance. I wouldn't be surprised if he's wearing the Guardian cap out there today, just to kind of be safe. But overall, man, like I'm super excited to have Pat Bryant back. Yeah, we were really trying to game plan, and that dude was having an amazing game in the first drive before he gets hurt. And but yeah, Troy Franklin not being back, that sucks. But I also think that gives opportunities for guys like Marvin Mims. And when you have a new quarterback, you have give options of guys like Evan Ingram, who, if he gets the ball in open space, just like Marvin Mims, just like Pat Bryant, I mean, on all of our receivers, you give them the ball in open space, they're going to get theirs, right? And so I think this just kind of opens up the playbook with Pat Bryant in there to kind of spread the ball on both ends of the field and up the middle. And we have 4 awesome targets across the board with our 3 starting wide receivers and our starting tight end.
No, totally agree. It's going to be interesting to see what they do there. We talked about just what kind of impact he's going to have. And I think, again, this goes back to the point of he's going to have a big impact today. is what I'm looking there. Next one on the list, JL Skinner. Anything to say about him?
Nah, I don't even know if he's. I think he's healthy and active, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he was on the injury report.
No, he wasn't.
He's a backup guy. I think he's just an extra guy for special teams. They just decided to keep him on the inactive list for this week. And I think there's a couple other people on this list that are that way too. Karen Reed, kind of same thing. The one, and then we'll just keep going down the line. The one next that I'm a little bit interested in, Michael Bandy's another guy. We brought him up from the practice squad, but we have to cut down to 53 for game day. Bandy's one of those guys that we brought him up just in case we need it. If for some reason Pat Bryant wasn't ready to go, he was ready to be able to brought in. He's obviously not going to be brought in. And then Jordan Jackson, same thing. Savion Jones, I think he's been dealing with an injury, but the big loss here for me is after looking at this, and it's a loss with the issues that we've been having at center, is Alex Forsyth. It'd be really nice to have him be healthy in case something does happen, because the injuries to the centers have been kind of all year, at least for the end of the year. It's been a little bit interesting, but Michael, we did elevate Bandy from the practice squad, but he is listed as an active because we had to cut to 53 for the day. So he's not active for this game. You will not be seeing him today.
Yep. Agreed. Looking at, and we'll talk about the offensive line with Wattenberg and everything coming back here, but looking at the Patriots and actives really quickly, obviously their QB3 is an active, wide receiver 𝐓𝐚𝐥𝐻 Chisholm, not sure who that is, tight end CJ Dippre, offensive tackle Marcus Bryant, lineman Caden Wallace, the big one, their edge guy Harold Landry, who's their leading sack guy for the season, and then their quarterback Kobe Minor. So other than, unless we want to just go into Landry, I don't recognize any other of those names being major losses for the Patriots.
No, it's just good, right? When you get to the AFC Championship, it's really going to be who's the healthiest, right? You saw San Francisco just to get absolutely destroyed because they don't have a team anymore at this point. I think like half their team's on the IR. And you get to this point in the season, part of that is how healthy have you been? How healthy have you been able to keep your team? And the Denver Broncos and the Patriots have done a very good job of keeping a healthy team for the most part. We've had, issues here and there. And obviously with our big one is, I think the biggest one, obviously, is Bo Nix. And then the loss of JK at the beginning of the season. So those two are huge injury problems. But for the most part, we've been doing a pretty good job on both sides staying healthy. The big one is the defense, man. Like our defense has been staying healthy. And especially like defensive line, right, is a huge one, right? We've got, I'm just going to kind of get into it and kind of transfer this, but the biggest thing I see for being the key to this game is the trenches. You're looking at, it's like 20 degrees out there, right? 15-degree wind chill. And then you have, both of them have a decent running game and they kind of want to play to the action, but like catching a ball on that is hard. You have a wind chill out there. It's going to come down to the trenches. New England has not played an offensive line. Their defensive line has not played an offensive line as good as the Denver Broncos all year. And I think that we're going to be able to control that. On the other side, I don't think they've had to play too many great pass rushers outside of maybe the Chargers game, which was difficult for them. And you have a guy like Drake May who's getting hit. I think he's got like one of the most sacks taken in the league right now. And he's got a lot of turnovers. So like this is all going to come down to the offensive defensive line, and they have an injury on their defensive line. So I'm just obviously super excited for this game, and there's going to be a lot of things at play here. And the other thing is we have a great coach. We have a coach in Sean Payton that's going to be able to game plan something, and he's been looking at the film, and he has a lot to look at, and he's going to figure something out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're talking. Somebody was saying, going into the Bills game last week, how many trick plays are we going to see, right? And we really didn't see any, but I would expect that this is the game. This is the situation where you do see maybe something even early on, just to throw the Patriots off, just to kind of get something going on offense, right? And not necessarily like we need to do it right off the bat, but again, I think Sean Payton is not going to be afraid to call anything today. One of the things he was talking about again last week was to not be cautious when calling plays. I think that same mindset has got to carry over into this week. You got Stiddy, what Stiddy can do. And everything he said about Stidham this week has been just oozing with confidence of this guy, telling the team, I'm not worried about how Stidham's going to play. I'm worried about how the rest of you are going to play. And I think that's the mentality of every single one of you needs to be dialed into your job. And so I just think, even though we have our backup quarterback, I think the game plan, everything they've done this week has been the same in terms of preparation. They're going to go out there and they're going to play the best game they possibly can. Some people saying it's going to be a blowout. I just don't see how this is going to be a blowout, man. I really don't. And then really quickly,
it's a national media thing, man.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. And then to talk about the weather really quickly, because I think that will come into factor today. It says it's 25 out there right now. Feels like 19. I was just out there not too long ago. With the sun, it feels not that bad. There's not really any wind, right? However, they are calling for the next cold front. That's already cold front to move through between 2 and 4 p.m. So right there in the second half of the game with clouds, wind, maybe some snow. So you could see the second half of the game be impacted by weather. Even more reason to kind of really get going in the first half of the game.
Yeah, and the big part too is the altitude, right? We talk about it all the time, and it doesn't really start affecting you until you're really exhausted. And when your body has to keep yourself warm, it's taking more energy out than you're used to on top of the altitude. Like there's a lot of pieces here that I think we definitely have the benefit to. I also just stepped outside. It's also a very chilly 65 over here. So
yeah,
I'm with you.
While you're wearing your shorts, and
fully understand what you're going through right now.
Yeah, but Ken is right. Like it does make it hard to breathe, especially when the air gets colder in the second half. These guys on the Patriots are going to be tired. I'm surprised they didn't fly in until later yesterday. I kind of expect they'd come in more earlier or kind of early afternoon on Friday, but sounds like they didn't do that. But once that really cold air hits your nose and you're trying to breathe, man, it starts hurting, especially when you're sucking air. So it's going to be interesting to see what those guys do there.
Well, it's funny because the science, just real quick, I was reading something about this. The science behind the altitude and getting adjusted to the altitude with the energy and your body's energy and the ability to breathe in the air. It takes 5 days to adjust. And any time between the 1 and 5, it's not like you slowly start adjusting more. It's like 5 days you're adjusted. And so like their debate was either fly out the day after our game and try to adjust or get healthy back home and then adjust when we get back. So that's kind of where that is. And I kind of understand it. You didn't really see it too much in the Bills game. I don't think they were too exhausted at the end of it as much as we thought they would be. So I'm not expecting too much from New England. I don't think they're going to come out there and just like fall apart like Green Bay did. Because we all look back on that Green Bay game. Right, and that's my favorite thing is like looking back on that Green Bay game and just seeing how exhausted they were in the fourth quarter. We're like, we got the advantage, right? Like we could do this, and it didn't seem to affect the Bills, and I don't think it's going to affect the Patriots too much. It's really going to come down to play. We need to play better. Every single person needs to play better than the guy on the other side of the ball, right? Our defensive line needs to be playing better than their offensive line. Our offensive line needs to be playing better than defensive line. Cornerback, wide receiver matchups, running back, linebacker matchups. Tight end linebacker matchups or slot receiver. Like we need to win our one-on-ones, every person across the board, which is I think going back to what you were saying, Nate was saying like Stidham's one part of the team, and it's a huge part, right? We know from personal experience how it is without a strong quarterback in the backfield. But everybody needs to do their job, and if everybody does their job, then Stidham's going to have an easy job. Our job, everybody else's job, is to make Stidham's job easy, and that's getting open and opening holes for the running back. And if we can do that, and we can take up the time, and we can get down and score touchdowns, then this game can be in our hands, and we move on to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks.
Yep. Just hearing that, I mean, every time I hear it, it's like that's how close we freaking are, guys. That is how close. And look, Kelly brings a good point. This one's for Bo. Look, the margin for error for the Broncos is much smaller now that Bo's not in there. I get that. But I think, especially the way Sean Payton leads this team, I think part of that messaging could be, hey, our back's against the walls a little bit, but good. Yeah. Use that to elevate your game. Use that to say, like you were talking about, to make Stiddy's job easier. Use that as a thing to get momentum, to push forward, to overcome any challenges, obstacles, and it can be used as a positive if framed in the right way. And everything these guys have been saying all week and all the pressers and everything, I just don't see any false confidence or ego, really. Like they know what they're capable of. They know that they've been through the ringer this season. They know that they face adversity all season. So, yeah, it sucks to not have Bo, but let's go out there and win this one for Bo. You know, I just don't know if the Patriots are ready to face that kind of like this team is ready to go kind of mentality that we're going to bring to them, you know?
Yeah, man. And then I was watching, and it's because we're playing them. It's really why it's irking me. But did you see Mac Hollins walk in? Like,
No.
what a tool, man. Like, and I hate talking crap about other players. Like, if you know me, if you followed the show for a while, I will stop anybody from like being like, hey, don't talk negatively about. But the dude came in clinking like glasses together and was like, Warriors, let's go, and was like trying to do this thing. Their confidence is at an all-time high for no reason. They beat up on a Houston team in the rain and snow when CJ Stroud threw like 4 interceptions, and they like you didn't win that very well. Like your defense played well in the sleet and snow against a quarterback who's been struggling towards the end of the season. Like you're now going up against a team who's probably one of the top defenses in the league, and they also, for the record, turned the ball over a bunch. I think that was like 8 total or 9 total turnovers in that game, right? And so
There's a lot.
You turn the ball over. We don't turn the ball over that much. So, like, let's let this happen. I think somebody mentioned it. I think, here we go, Chris. Like, we're talking about 2 forced fumbles. I would love that. If our defense scores more touchdowns than the Broncos offense, don't care. I'm still on City. Like, I'm still all here for it. Let us control the clock. And then if the defense scores, and then let us control the clock. And we got this game in the hand. And there's a lot of things that can happen here. And I'm also not going to sit here and say that I'm like, oh, no, the Broncos got this game. It's going to be tough. You don't get to the AFC Championship and play whoever's also there without playing a tough team. It's going to be a tough sled. There's going to be times where they're going to get theirs. They're going to get their touchdowns. They're going to get their big first downs, and we're all going to be looking at it like, oh, come on, we needed that. But I just don't see this game being Bo Nix is out, game's over, we're not going to the Super Bowl. Like, it was a good run. Like, I just don't.
Right. Well, that's the thing. We've been seeing this all year. And then, again, going back to the national media narrative, all season long, we've heard about how Bo Nix is holding this team back. And then all of a sudden this week it turns to, oh, well, we don't have a chance because Bo Nix is out. Those 2 things just don't make sense.
I know you listen to the podcast because I mentioned this, and I listen to NFL Daily. I forget his name, but he said all season, and he's a huge Patriots fan, all season he's talking crap about Bo Nix. He never puts him on quarterback island, always one of the top, like the bottom 10 quarterbacks in the league, according to this dude. And it frustrates me. He's got a lot of other people on the show that I really respect their opinions, and I think they have really good opinions. So I like listening to it. He's always been like so negative about Bo Nix. And then, he gets injured. So I listened this week. They're like, I don't know, man. He was the reason that team was winning. And I'm sitting there like, you can't have it both ways, man. You can't sit here and say the only reason he's winning is because the defense and that any quarterback can do it. And then we put another quarterback in there and be like, it's over. Like, that's not how this works. And I think that's the cool part about our team is that there's no one person on this team that if they got hurt and they went out, including our starting quarterback, that everyone that we can sit here and be like, it's over, man. Like the Bills lose Josh Allen, it's done, right? I feel like if the Patriots lost Drake May, they're done. I feel like if Philly loses their starting quarterback, if the Rams lose their starting quarterback, if Sam Darnold goes out, they're done. That's not this team. This team is built around the team mentality of next man up, which we've been doing all year, and on a multiple levels. Look at RJ Harvey having a great breakout because of J.K. Dobbins' injury. So like everybody's on that page, and yes, the defense is part of the reason because they can stop teams from scoring. We can't let them score 30 points. I will be honest. If this game ends up like the Buffalo game, we're kind of screwed. We can't let them put up 30 points because I just don't think that. I love Stidham. I just don't think he has the experience to be able to go and put a game-winning drive together, let alone a game-winning field goal in overtime. But our defense can do it, and our defense can stop a New England team with Drake May. I feel like they can.
Yep. Matt, and I kind of talked about this earlier, asking if Sean's going to go more conservative game plan, play calling, or do you think he's going to go with the normal? And again, I think he's going to go normal. You have to, right? You still have to respect the Patriots. Look, Drake May is young. They talk about him holding onto the football maybe a little too long sometimes. We talk about, was it the right tackle or left tackle for the Patriots that has since his coming back from injury, has given up like what, a 10% pressure rate, which is like one of the worst, if not the worst in the league. Like there are definitely holes in things that you can exploit against the Patriots, but that doesn't mean that you can take your foot off the gas. If Sean Payton's talking about how confident he is in Jarrett Stidham all week long, you can't then go out there and play and call a very conservative game plan. You just can't. This is a game where, look, you believe in Stiddy, go out there and make it happen. You get the run game going. You have to get the run game going, but utilize that play action path, all that stuff that Stidham really thrives in. Let him pick apart the defense from the pocket, which we know he's good at, and go put some drives together, put some points on the board. And yeah, if you get one, oh my God, if you get two defensive scores from our defense on turnovers, holy crap. Like, you're talking about a really solid chance to win this game right there.
Yeah, and I want to get ahead of this because on Tuesday's show, I hope you guys all come back for our Bourbon Broncos No BS Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. On Tuesday's show, I guarantee there's going to be a couple people, regardless of how this game plays out, we were too conservative. Even if we win, right, and they're going to go out there and be like, it's a different game plan. They're different quarterbacks, right? I love this game. They're two different quarterbacks, right? And so, like, we have to play to the strength of Stidham, which is not the same strength as Bo, which is the shotgun, sit back and let her rip. They're going to give Stidham an opportunity to let him in. And he has said, and Sean Payton has said, I'm going to go out there and play my game. I'm not coming in here to just be a backup and sit here with the run. I'm going to go and play my game. But I also want to get ahead of, there's going to be some people that are watching this game that are going to be like, this is not the normal offense. We had to change everything. It's not everything. And remember, the dude's been with us for 2 years. Or 3 years now. He's been under Sean Payton for 3 years, and we paid him a lot of money to be a backup quarterback. He knows the playbook. He's been studying the playbook under Sean Payton for all 3 years. So it's not like he doesn't know what he's doing and he goes out there. He knows the play calls. He knows how things are going to come in. He knows the alignment. He's practiced with these guys. This isn't like having a backup quarterback that we just picked up off of like a free agency. This is a guy that's been with the team for a while, and we paid him a lot of money to be the backup because Sean Payton trusts him, and I think Sean Payton's going to trust him. He's going to go out there and call it just like he would and expect him to play it as best he can.
Well, to bring up on stage here, the man of the myth, the hair, John, sir, are you ready for game day AFC Championship game, man? Are you stoked or what?
Well, yes, stoked is the right word. Am I ready? I don't think I'm going to be. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I have butterflies in my stomach. I have faith in this team, but man, I'm jacked up for today, but ready. I don't think I'm ready.
Yeah. I think the butterflies are really going to hit when I see kickoff. Like, even this morning, I'm like, it's game day. Yeah, but this is the AFC Championship game. And so I don't think it's really going to hit until I see those players actually playing the game and that clock starting to count down at the start of the first quarter there. Yeah, look, Ken, very good point here. And again, trying to not disrespect the Pats because they also have gotten the 14-3 record. They played the schedule that they were given, just like us, right? But one of the things that I didn't recognize until I was making a video yesterday, the Patriots have not traveled west of the Mississippi until today. So with a 1 o'clock game, yeah, I verified it and everything. All of their away games were east of the Mississippi. This is the furthest west they've gone all year. And so they played in Central or Eastern time zone all season long. So with a 1 o'clock kickoff, it's going to feel like 11 a.m. to them. You know, like there's just maybe some more science there or whatnot. But talking about not just traveling the furthest they've traveled all season, but this crowd, I think, is the toughest crowd that Drake May has faced in probably his entire career. And those fans are absolutely electric right now. Just seeing them on the TV and knowing from what we were all like last week, John, you were there too. Like, it's going to be just as loud, if not louder, in that stadium.
Well, Kev, anytime I get to correct you is a win for me. But 1 o'clock here is going to feel like 3 p.m. there.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. 3 p.m. Sorry, later in the day. Nah, that's what I meant.
No, I am jealous for everyone that's at the stadium. It's going to be wild. It was wild last week, and it's going to be just as wild this week. Wish I could be there for sure. I'm glad I'll be a little bit warmer in my house, but no, this is going to be the hardest environment that the Patriots have faced all year. But look, Drake May had an MVP type of season, regular season. For the last 2 games in the playoffs, he has not looked like the same person. So I think this environment, the fans are going to get to him. I think he's going to have a hard time managing that offense in this environment.
Jose brings up a good point, and Riley Moss himself brought this up to say that he recognizes he is probably going to – oh, sorry, wrong comment. Here it is, Ken. Sorry, it moved on me right before I clicked. VJ and Moss, but Moss is probably going to be targeted a lot, which, okay, that's what's happened all season. But I just go back to before we found out about Bo's injury, I was hoping that we would get the Patriots because I would feel better about the Patriots than trying to face the Texans again. And I don't know if that's really changed too much. Like, look, yeah, the defense needs to stand up, and I think maybe them allowing 450 yards, for the Bills last week is maybe a bit of a wake-up call for them, especially knowing that they have to do more to help out our offense today. But I'm not worried about Moss. We have to find a way to stop the Patriots' run game and put the game on Drake May's shoulders. But if we can do that, it just goes back to I was so confident last week that this is a game that, man, I don't care that we're the underdogs right now. We're the underdogs 10 years ago, and look at what happened then too. Like, let's go get this done.
Yeah, I don't know. Drake May, you're right. John, we can't ignore the fact that he's put up a season that has been absolutely fantastic, and I want to give him the credit where it's due. However, and I think somebody mentioned earlier, outside of 1 or 2 players, it's the same team they had last year, and that didn't do very well. And they're coming into Denver in a very cold game in a stadium that they're not ready for. And I think that there's a overconfidence. Like it's really funny because obviously we're the underdogs. So I've watched just like you guys probably have. I've watched way too many like news clips and interviews this week as like the excitement has been around it. But I'm also watching the New England interviews, and there's a level of confidence. There's, the head coach is coming out there and been like, hey, Vrabel's said a couple times, like, we cannot take this lightly. This is not like, oh my gosh, Bo Nix is out. We got this. We're going to Super Bowl. Like, we have to game plan. But the players are like talking shit to Sean Payton, right? They're like, like Sean Payton's just mentioning things and like they're taking it out of context and being like, oh yeah, he thinks that they're going to win they're going to the Super Bowl and like, watch out for us. We're coming in for you. And like that. And then Matt Collins coming in with his little warrior thing. I'm going to bring this up so many times. Like I got so pissed off when I saw it this morning.
Yeah.
But you see these things and you're like, they're coming in so confident. And then the fans, the New England fans are like, Broncos have no choice. I don't think they have this like false confidence and blah, blah, blah. Like we're going to destroy them. And like, there's a difference in like professionalism on both the fan and the player side of like, our players are like, we're going to do our job and we're going to take care of the person in front of us. And they're like, we got this. They don't have a starting quarterback. So I'm really interested and I'd love to see this upset happen. I'd love to see it be a big upset, but I'd love to see this upset happen so we can go on to Super Bowl in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, the Patriots, they have so much pressure on them for this game, much more than I think the Broncos do, especially without Bo Nix. Yes, we're at home. We have that advantage and everything, but the entire country says this is the Patriots game to lose. And if they do, I'm going to be so happy to watch all the videos on social media and all that, just crying. And I can't wait for the excuses, but
we only got 1 week of hearing Buffalo fans cry. If we win this game, we get 2 weeks of hearing New England fans cry. It's so fun.
No, it's not 2 weeks. Honest. It's not 2 weeks, Jared. It's a whole off season.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. Yeah. We're going to hear from Buffalo Bills fans all off season. You're going to see that wasn't a catch videos all off season long. So
we've moved on.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, guys, it is halftime. And, just as we get into the halftime announcements here at the show, I do want to point out I got the same jersey on I had last week, the same hoodie I had on last week, the same lucky socks on. I got the same hat. Now I got the same hat. I'm ready to go, baby. Well, let's get this game, boys. Let's go to the Super Bowl. So let's get this rolling. Guys, make sure you join us at halftime today for the halftime hash. So we break down the first half of the game and get your instant reactions and talk about how we are potentially 30 minutes away from the Super Bowl. And we're going to have to see how the first half plays out. Second half, as I talked about, going to be interesting with a potential cold front moving through. That's going to be interesting to see. But look, I think we have all the pieces in place. So get ready for it. Tomorrow night, Monday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, we'll be doing our Bourbon Broncos and No BS post-game podcast show at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure you join us there as we break down all the action that we saw from today. And one way or another, it's going to be a celebration. It's hopefully celebrating the fact we won, but if not, the fact that we got here, guys, is just a testament to what this coaching staff has done, to what these players have done. And I tell you already, like, not that I've been getting ahead of myself, but I'm already excited about Bo Nix year 3. And just remember, when you see the players on the field today for the Broncos, the highest paid Broncos player is Russell Wilson. Okay, and that's not going to be the case next year. Okay, so we're going to be the future is bright for these guys. Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, we'll be doing our flagship show of Bourbon Broncos and No BS. Tune in for that as we talk about all the action again and look ahead to whatever the future might bring for the Broncos. Again, not to jinx anything, but it could involve talking about a Super Bowl appearance for the Denver Broncos, guys. If you are on Discord, guys, I'm putting it in the chat right now. Make sure you head over to the Broncos Country Discord chat. The link's there for you guys to go follow and subscribe there so you can chat with all the other Broncos fans. They got a Broncos game day chat for everyone over there as well that I'll be following along with and posting videos and everything too as well. Lastly, we'll be doing, if there is a pregame to be talking about, they'll be doing the first ever special bowl edition of the pregame podcast. So look out for that if that's a possibility in the coming weeks. And guys, just whatever happens, we got some exciting things on the horizon for you. And one of those things definitely does include the annual show, our fan appreciation show that we do for you guys. So that is going to happen in the coming weeks. Whenever that is, we will announce it here before too long and let you guys know when it is so we can get together, have a good time, and give away a ton of prizes and just celebrate not only our 10th anniversary here at Bourbon Broncos and No BS, but celebrate all of you guys being our fans and following us for all this time. And again, I think it's just going to get better and better from here. Okay, let's get into it, guys. Second half of the show, we are less than 30 minutes away from kickoff, and it is also time to open up the score prediction challenge. So really quickly, 1, you have to guess the Broncos to win. 2, if you get the score prediction correct, you get a jersey of your choice on us. So hit those score predictions in the chat right now. It is officially open. You only get one prediction. Whatever you enter first is the one we will hold you to. If you enter 5, if you enter 10, that's fine. I'm not going to complain because you're helping out the algorithm. That's just giving us more content and more all that stuff. However, if you say, I got it right, and that was your 12th prediction, it ain't going to count. So whatever you enter in there first is the one we're going to hold you to for the score prediction challenge and your chance to win a Broncos jersey of your choice on us. We'll be giving our score predictions here at the end of the show. So start populating those in and get entered yourself. But guys, go around the horn. Again, Jared, start with you. What else are you thinking for today's game, man?
Before we move on to talk about the games, John, did Spotty get a one of these coolers, the cooler cups from the stadium yesterday?
Last week, no, but I wish I had.
Oh, okay.
I really debated doing it.
Yeah, so he promised one to Marty, so I'll give him crap later. But no, look, the butterflies are real. It's getting more and more real as we continue the show. It's the AFC Championship. I was telling my wife earlier too. I don't think my butterflies would be any different if it was Bo Nix. I think it's an exciting game. It's the fact that we're here after 10 long years of not being relevant. We're now one of 4 teams left in the league that are still talking about playing a game. Everyone in the country is watching, regardless of who they root for. It's going to be an amazing game. I think it is going to be great, and we have a chance to do something that is unheard of with a backup quarterback going in there, somebody that we paid a lot of money for to keep him as a backup quarterback and go in there and win this game. And it's just the thought process behind all this and the narrative that could be turned into this if we win this game is just fantastic for Broncos country. And it's just so cool. I think, John, you mentioned it, we're playing with house money. Nobody expects us to win this game any other fan. No one expects us to win this game. We're playing with house money. Go out there and play the best game you got and win the game and show them all, shut everybody up. That's all it is. We just got to go shut them up. We lose this game. It's right? We lost this game because we had a bunch of injuries. We had our starting running back got taken out halfway through the season. Our starting quarterback's not playing. But if we go out there and win, it's a team win. And it's not about who was playing, it was like, hey, this team is good together as a team, and it's just so cool.
Yeah. No one expected the regular season that we had. No one expected us to be in this AFC Championship game. And yes, we don't have Bo Nix, but I have full faith in Sean Payton when he says, he's been talking up the confidence he has had in Stidham all week. And, I don't think that's just coach speak, honestly. I think, this is a guy that was competing to be our starter a year ago. And I think he's very talented. I think he's one of the top backups in the league. And I think he's better. And Sean said this too. I think he's better than a lot of starters in the league. So I think I have faith in Sean Payton to put a game plan together that's going to take advantage of Stidham's strengths. And, maybe, I don't know, get the run game going for once. That'd be nice to see. Even without J.K. Dobbins, I mean, it would have been great to have him out there this week. But for me, it all comes down to confidence in Sean Payton. We saw it last week. I mean, talk about opening up the playbook. We saw things we didn't see all year. Marvin Mims led the league in receiving yards last week. Where's he been all year as far as a receiver? And I think we're going to see more of that today. And having Pat Bryant was going to have a huge game last week.
Yeah.
He actually, for his numbers, he did have a pretty good game all on the first drive. Unfortunately, he goes out, but it's huge to have him back today. So all I'm saying is I think Sean Payton can get this done. It's been an amazing ride this year, but I don't think it's over yet for us.
No. I'm going to go ahead and preemptively say this. If something goes really bad for the Broncos, if it just does not end up being our day, I will 100%. I'm just saying, I will 100% be using this as the reason. Okay, Mike, I'm right there with you. This is why if something goes wrong. I'm just saying. But again, like what you're saying, John, I can't doubt Sean Payton. We all doubted him at the beginning of the season when he said that this was a Super Bowl caliber team and only one of the few that he's coached that he believes is a Super Bowl caliber team. As we all, including me, scoffed at him saying, dude, what the hell are you talking about? There's no way. You're just saying that to amp people up, maybe for the season, get ticket sales up, whatever. But he put his money where his mouth is, and he proved us all wrong, including me. So when he's out there saying, I have full confidence in City, I can't doubt him. I can't sit here and say, dude, what are you talking about? Not only was Stidham, remember, he was not only Sean Payton's first free agent pick, but they re-signed Jarrett Stidham. If Jarrett Stidham was not up to the task, if he was not making the cut for Sean Payton would have got rid of him and found another backup quarterback. So we're paying him a ton of money. We've had trade offers for Jarrett Stidham that we've turned down, every single one of them. We re-signed him, all that stuff. It's very clear that he is part of this Super Bowl team. And again, I'm just excited to go see him go out there and get it done.
Yeah, I love that he calls out, again, all the press conferences. I've watched every single one of them probably 5 or 6 times, but he calls out 1A, 1B. He goes, when you have a quarterback room and you have a 1A, 1B, it's a lot easier to be confident in him. And you see the things that he did in preseason. You saw halfway through the season, Bo struggled a little bit. You saw some of our fans talking about putting Stiddy in. And now, right, you have an opportunity to see what he can do and go out there and do what he needs to do. And his cool, calm, collective demeanor, the way that he handled the media, the way that his players are talking him up, right? And then that's the other thing, you talked to like Pastor Tan, they talked to Mike McGlinchey, and they're talking to all these guys. And like, yes, at first, the first question is like, how are you feeling about this? Like, hey, it sucked to hear Bo, and my heart sank. But then I realized we got Stiddy. And just like the rest of the fan, like all of us were like, oh, we don't have a scrub as a backup. We have a guy that can go in there and do the thing that he needs to do. We have a 1B. And the fact that all the players are doing the same thing, like my job is to do my job to make job easy for him. And like, that's the mentality. And if we go out there and can execute on that mentality, then yeah, the job's going to be easy for him. We're going to make him look like a Super Bowl caliber quarterback and make that conversation, if we do get to the Super Bowl and win this game, much harder. Because if we end up playing Seattle, which is where my money is, honestly, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be whoever we play in the NFC is going to be a very tough game. Talk about national media saying whoever wins this game doesn't really matter. They're going to lose to either the Rams or the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Anyway, but whatever it is, like we got to focus on this game. We got to win this game, and then we can have that conversation. If Stiddy puts up 200-something yards over the air in a cold game in Denver, like there's a whole other conversation to be had, and he has a chance to go out there and do something that nobody's ever done before. Roger Staubach, I think, was the last time that first start ever for a new team was in the AFC in the championship game, and look how it turned out for him as a quarterback, as a person. So there's a lot of really cool things, a lot of really cool storylines on this game that I would just love to see true. But I also know that it's the AFC Championship game. It's not like we're playing the Raiders. We're not playing the Jets, right? We're playing a Patriots team who had the same season record that we did, and the only reason we're playing in Denver right now is because we beat Oakland, or the Raiders. Sorry, we beat Las Vegas, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
week 1 does matter.
Yeah, I think the other thing to expect from this game, I don't think this is going to be a game plan where he's going to hold anything back. I think, and he said this week, Stidham's going to be going out there and he's going to be throwing the ball quite a bit. I think. I don't think it's going to be crazy to see him get 250 yards, maybe even pushing to 300. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't think the playbook's going to be dialed back at all. I think he's going to be slinging.
Yeah. If he dials back the playbook, we will lose. I think it's as simple as that. And I think Sean Payton recognizes that. He has to go out there and he cannot be conservative today. And if he's saying he has as much confidence in this team and in Jarrett Stidham as he has, again, that's another, he can't go out there and then call a conservative game because be like, well, if you had so much confidence, why were you so conservative in your play calling? So it just doesn't make sense from anything we've seen from Sean Payton. And his record with backup quarterbacks is actually pretty good. You know, was it 13-4 or something like that? But anyway, we're going to see what happens, and this is going to be a fun freaking game, guys.
Yeah. So here's what I want to mention this too. Like we talked about the line play is going to be the key to this game, regardless of the way you look at it. It's not going to be the quarterbacks; it's going to be the line play, right? One team is going to get to the quarterback, and the other team's not, or vice versa, right? And so for us, I would not be surprised if you see Mike Vrabel spend a lot of time and a lot of effort stacking the box and trying to show blitz and maybe possibly blitzing 5 to 6 every single play because they know that they're dealing with an offensive line in the Denver Broncos that wins their one-on-one matchups. You have to find areas to be able to get pressure on Stidham to get him off balance. So they're going to be stacking the box. Don't be surprised if we see a lot of quick throws, right? A lot of, unfortunately for Spotty, just screens, right? A lot of things that we got to get the ball out of Stidham's hands early. You're going to see a couple deep shots, but you're going to see a lot of shorter plays. And this is kind of why earlier in the episode I said we're going to come into Tuesday and everyone's going to be like, we called a very soft game. Like we weren't taking shots. It's because they're going to load the box. They're going to try to stop us from running the ball, and it's going to force Stidham to make the quick throws. And we have to get the ball out of his hands to get it into the plans of our playmakers upfield. And in order to do that, you need a new screen, or you need a quick slant, or you need some sort of quick out, whatever it is, to be able to get the hands out of his ball, because they're going to blitz him. That's what they're going to do. They know that he needs time to be able to get the open receiver. If they can't give him the time, then he doesn't have a chance to do that. We have to get the ball out of his hands quick.
Yep.
Yeah. And as far as that goes, I think Evan Ingram, we might see an above average game from him,
Absolutely.
in that short passes, middle of field passes to get the ball out quick, like you said. And same thing with RJ Harvey. We might see a good receiving day. We've seen it for plenty of weeks this season. Harvey have a big receiving day. So I would expect that as well. I think getting Wattenberg back is huge for that reason as well. I'm hoping he's as close to 100% as possible because we don't have the backup. We don't have Forsyth in the game.
Yeah.
So controlling the line of scrimmage is just going to be huge for the offense and defense too. I mean, the Patriots have been allowing pressure in the playoffs, and I think 5 turnovers last week is insane. I'd be shocked if we match that, but I do expect at least 2. I mean, 3 would be great. And I think we're going to have opportunities to get to the quarterback, and we just got to finish the tackle in those situations.
Yeah.
So controlling line of scrimmage on both sides is going to be key to the game.
Yeah.
But I think Nick Bonito and Jonathan Koopman and Zach Allen, I think they're even hungrier after the taste of turnovers they got last week. It was such a conversational piece all season long. They've only had 14 turnovers all season long. And then they finally got like, oh my God, like we got it. Like we were making it happen. And Hufanga jumping on the ball, right? These players have been so close throughout the season, finally getting a turnover. I think it makes them even hungrier. And I think we've said it on the show before. I know Scott has talked about it, is once you start getting those turnovers, more come, right? It I think everybody wants it just a little bit more. They try to strip the ball out a little bit more. And yeah, I just Drake May better be ready for it because Nick Bonino, he's going to be coming for him. He's going to be coming for him hard. And if they do lock him up on the side, you still got to worry about the up the middle pressure. So it's going to be fantastic to see what these guys do.
Yeah, I love the 𝐁𝐫𝐤 talk here, Gary. I was talking to a buddy. I went golfing the other day with my buddy because I'm in California and I can go golfing in the middle of January. And so I was golfing with a buddy of mine who's a San Francisco fan, and he was like, "Hey, you're welcome for 𝐁𝐶. We didn't even talk about Drake Greenlaw, right? He said, "You're welcome for 𝐁𝐶. I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, thanks, man." Like, what were you guys thinking? He was like, "I have no clue. I had no idea what we were doing. Why did we?" Like, he's such an amazing player. He's a guy that can be all over the field and jumping, whether it behind the line of scrimmage or 30 yards upfield. He just seems to be in every play. He has an eye for the ball, and he's going to go out there and absolutely kill it. And I think in this game, I think he has a big game as well as he has all season. He has been absolutely the key to our defense. We talk about Nick Bonito's sacks. We talk about the Pat Surtain being reigning defense player of the year, but 𝐁𝐶 has been the linchpin in our defense. He is on every single play you watch. He is there. And it's the coolest thing to watch, and he's going to do it again this week here in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and he's had a great season. It's second team All-Pro, I believe, completely deserved. I think the other one that you briefly talked about, Jared, Drake Greenlaw's got to have a good game too. Him and Alex Singleton to control this run game for the Patriots. They don't have scrubs back there. They have two very capable running backs. We saw it last week against the Bills. Granted, neither of those guys are at the same level of James Cook, but I mean, they're probably close to top 10 in the league. One of those guys, maybe not. What's the backup's name?
Ramon Stevenson, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Anyways, they're both very capable, and this offense knows how to run the ball. So the linebackers have to have a good game against the run. But yeah, I mean, much love for 𝐁𝐶, obviously, and I think Greenlaw. I hope we see the Greenlaw that we saw in the playoffs a few years ago come out today.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Hey, let's do some closing comments and get our score predictions out there so we can go get ready for kickoff here in a few minutes. Again, guys, post your score predictions if you haven't already for a chance to win a Broncos jersey. Remember, you only get one score entry that counts. If you post more, that's fine by me. But you have to pick the Broncos to win, and then get a screenshot or something of your score prediction just to help us out. But just message us after the game. If you're right, let us know that you were right, and we'll verify it. We'll verify that it was your first and your first score prediction. And then if it works out, we'll get you a jersey. So should be fun if that is the case of what happens today. But John, man, let's start with you, bud. Here we are, about 10, 11 minutes away from kickoff. This is, I mean, just a great place to be in right now, man. So how are you feeling? What you thinking? What's your score prediction?
I'm excited. I'm excited as hell. I'm a little bit more ready than when I jumped on the show, but still not 100% there. My heart tells me that this is going to be a 24-13 type game, that we don't have to be concerned. Like it's going to be feeling pretty good. Almost like that Bills game at halftime or right after halftime when we're up by 13 points, and it kind of felt like, oh, things are going well here. We might just pull away from this one. And then we saw how that turned out. I don't think it's going to be great today, but I think it's going to be a much closer game. I don't think it's going to be an 11-point game. I think both defenses are going to play well. They're both very good defenses. Obviously ours are, but Patriots are still, a top 10 defense. And so I think it's going to be, my score prediction is going to be 24-20. And once again, a one-score win.
I like the fact that you had it more than a 3-point win. And that's, I think that's going to play into it.
That's for my DraftKings account, by the way.
Yeah, good. I appreciate that too. But I also think that, and I said this last week too. I said if this comes down to a 3-point game, I'm concerned, right? We went up by 3, and then they came down and they kicked the field goal to go into overtime last week. We can't put ourselves in that position where we give them the opportunity to kick a field goal to either win the game, right? If we're up by 2 and they have a chance to go kick that field goal to win the game, I'm nervous, right? And so I like the idea of winning by 4, going up by 4, and then if they have a chance to go down and have to score a touchdown, then I have a lot more confidence in this defense to be able to stop that. It's just really hard to stop the middle of the field, regardless of what you're watching. You see it all the time, regardless of the team you're watching. But Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I do think that while the Patriots have said like they have a very underrated defense, I don't think they're underrated. I think they're rated exactly where they're supposed to be. I think they played a very good game last week in the rain and snow against the CJ Stroud, who's been struggling in the last 4 or 5 weeks. And they're playing a team in the Denver Broncos who are very methodical, and we're very thoughtful with what we do with the ball and where we put the ball. And I think Stidham's going to do a good job. I think we're going to control the field. So with all that being said, I kind of like the 24-20 concept, but I'm going to go 27-23 is where I think this game's going to end up at.
I thought you said low scoring.
27-20. So that's also, I want to caveat this too. I think the defense gets a touchdown. I think one of those touchdowns.
All my points.
I think one of those touchdowns is either a pick six or some sort of scoop and score. Or get us within like 3 yards and we score like within the red zone, like a turnover in the red zone, and then we score off of that. But regardless, I think the defense comes up big on this one, and I think either a pick six or a scoop and score is not out of the possibility. 27-23 is my final score.
I may or may not have money on a defensive touchdown in this game.
Yeah. Well, you also for the viewers, and I know we have only like a few minutes of game time, but John is a gambler by trade. And last week, he showed us that he had an offensive lineman to score anytime touchdown and hit it with the Frank Crum touchdown last week. So hats off to you, John. That was just a ridiculous line that you took.
First game of the weekend, I was not expecting that bet to hit in that game. And as soon as it did, I was like, I think I just won big money here.
Yeah.
Being in the stands is even better for that.
Plus 20,000. Yeah. Was it plus 2,000 or plus 20,000? I can't remember.
No, 2,000. It was only
2,000 either way.
$10 bet, but I'll take
still
$200 off Frank Crum.
And it helps it was the Broncos score too.
I'm not doing it again this week. There's only 2 games this week.
Yeah.
But I do feel better knowing that you put money on a Broncos defensive score there. So I'm feeling good about that. Look, a lot of what Jared said, I can just repeat what you said, man. But again, I think the defense is going to be, it has to be the key to winning the game. And we don't necessarily need to see Stidham go out there and put up massive numbers, and he doesn't need to play the most amazing game of his life. He just needs to protect the football, right? And he needs to move the ball down the field and put the ball in the hands of our playmakers, right? Evan Ingram, Cortland Sutton, Pat Bryant, RJ Harvey, get these guys the ball and let them do, Mims, let them do what they do. And so it'd be one thing if we were winning these games all season long because we had the number 1 offense in the league. But we didn't. We had a slightly above average offense. That's all we need them to be today, is just be a slightly above average defense, and then let the defense take care of business. And if that's the case, then they do get a defensive score. Maybe 2 would be really, really, really nice. Look, I'm looking at a 27-23 win. Okay. I do think the Broncos do get up there in the high 20s. I see a lot of score predictions of 30s or 31s, 33s, 34s, whatever. And that's great. I don't know if we're going to be that good. However, again, you get the Patriots in the second half. They get tired, The
crowd.
Sean Payton recognizes it. Hey, the crowd. Sean Payton recognizes, hey, they're tired. Let's go ram this down their throats. Make them pay for having to come out here and play in Denver. And I think we got the coaching staff advantage there as well. I'm not afraid of Vrabel. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but I'm not afraid of him. I just think we have a lot of things going for us right now, and the crowd is not going to get out of it at any point. And so let's go out there and see what these guys can do. But man, here we go, guys. Jared, John, thank you very much for joining. Your insights are always fun. It always helps me get amped up for the game and whatnot. Guys, make sure you join us at halftime as well as we break down the first half of the game and get some quick instant reactions there as well. But let's do this. Let's go out there and earn a trip to Super Bowl 60 and make this even more of a oddly repeatable 2015 type of season, right? Orange Crush all the way. Guys, I don't have an Orange Crush thing, but I'll go ahead and hold this up because that's what I normally do. And we're not going to do anything different. So I believe in Jarrett Stidham. So, okay, guys, with that, we're 5 minutes away from kickoff. So I got nothing left to say other than to end this show, as we always do, with an extra strong Go Broncos!
Go Broncos!
Take care, guys. See you at halftime.
In the zone, here I go. In the